Hello everyone and welcome to the Good Old Gamer. So today wasn't looking like too much was going on out there in the PC gaming world news thing. Well, that changed. Everything kind of flipped around here. We got some big news now coming out here today. Sony now buying Bungie. That just showed up. That is very interesting. And of course, we have Nvidia just forgetting that they're making a 3090 Ti. So that's pretty interesting as well. Over the weekend, we had Intel coming out saying millions of units. They're going to ship millions and millions of graphics cards. That is their plan. We will go ahead and talk about that as well. And more here today in this video. All right, so you guys may have noticed I have a different microphone in front of me. TONOR sent over their new TC30 microphone and said, hey, do you want to go ahead and check this thing out? And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll use it on a video. So I'll go ahead and talk more about this at the end of the video, but the entire video, as you're going to see, is recorded with this new microphone. So if you like it, make sure you click the link in the description below. But all right, let's get into the news. So kicking things off with Sony. Sony Interactive Entertainment buys Bungie. And this is coming in at $3.6 billion. So Sony just couldn't let Microsoft, steal the thunder, I guess. They had to come on out and go, yeah, no, we're still in this game. We're still doing a thing. So this right here definitely seems like a desperate move. Bungie obviously does have a big name. But in terms of IP, they don't really have anything. They have Destiny, which, yes, that does make money. There are the loyal fans there. It will have revenues coming in basically forever. But honestly, I don't know too many people that would just go to PlayStation to play Destiny. Now, who knows? Maybe Bungie has something else in the works that Sony was aware of. And they're like, yeah, that's going to be a big deal. And we want to make sure it's an exclusive on our platform. We honestly just don't know. But this news just came out today. And I'm like, well, this is definitely worth talking about. Personally, I find it strange that Microsoft didn't buy Bungie. I've mentioned this many times before, but even still, they basically scalped over all the people that they wanted from the original Bungie team working on Halo over to 343 anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. In reality, I don't know how big of a deal this is going to be for Sony, but we will just have to wait and see. This is big news, and it does show that Sony is not going to sit by and take it with Microsoft basically just saying, yeah, we're going to buy everybody out there who is selling. Now, this came out over the weekend. Nvidia's GH100 Hopper GPU, rumored to be a monolithic design, which is contrary to what we were all believing, with a massive 1,000 millimeter square die. That's huge. That will make this the largest GPU ever produced, ever. Nvidia just likes making new records by making these much larger and justifying that with much higher price tags. So the most interesting part about this is the fact that they're going with monolithic. We all expected Hopper to be the first MCM design from Nvidia. We expected it to be in their enterprise class, their HPC server accelerators first, and then the next generation come out on their desktop gaming chips. But it looks like for the flagship, I don't even know if this would be their flagship. More than likely, in my opinion, this is meant to be for those use cases where latency means everything. And this will compete very well against RDNA 3's MCM design, where there will be latency penalties. So by making the largest possible chip that they can, means it'll be as competitive as possible by keeping those latencies as low as possible. It was confirmed by, I think it was Compite or one of the other leakers, maybe Greymon, that Hopper will be MCM, but they're also making a monolithic. So it looks like they're going with both approaches. So this way, the customer can decide what factors are more important to them. Would they like more CUDA cores? Is latency more important? Things of that nature. So this is just kind of interesting. It just goes to show that Nvidia will make the largest chip. They will give you an entire wafer if they have to as a die, if that means that they're the best in the world. And of course, they're going to charge accordingly. But it's just kind of crazy to think that we're at this point. I believe in here they do speculate on the power consumption. I believe it's somewhere around 1,000 watts. TDP 1,000 watts. There it is. So that's also really crazy. But for a chip this size, and considering these things are basically going to be living inside of refrigerators, it's not that big of a deal. All right, and this also came out over the weekend. Intel wants to ship millions of Arc GPUs to PC gamers every year. Of course they do. If they could ship billions, they would do that, or trillions, or zillions. I mean, you know, that part's not, it's just not phrased properly there. But anyways, Raja himself is the one who tweeted this out in response to PC Gamer's open letter asking to Intel, asking the company to find a solution to the ongoing GPU problem. So jumping on over here to Twitter, we'll just get it straight from the horse's mouth. This is from Raja. I'm with you at PC Gamer. This is a huge issue for PC gamers and the industry at large. At Intel Graphics is working hard to find a path towards the mission of getting millions of Arc GPUs into the hands of PC gamers every single year. As I mentioned, that's not really a surprise. Of course they want to get millions. Like I said, if they could do billions, they would absolutely want to do that. But it does show that Intel knows that there's just not enough supply. Their supply isn't there, and that's really the driving force here. If there was plenty of supply and we had, you know, 3090s sitting on shelves at $3,000 not selling ever, well, you know, then obviously prices would go down. So this is probably the easiest way possible for Intel to get into the market, is just to oversaturate certain markets and just keep prices as low as they possibly can. So yeah, it's just nice to see that Raja and Intel are pretty much aware of the key issue here, and they're going to do what they can, but honestly, it's just going to be what it is at this point in time, in my opinion. All right, and the final story of the day that I just find this one amusing, personally, guys. Did Nvidia just forget to launch the RTX 3090 Ti? As today and the date of recording is January 31st, 2022. It's the end of January, but no more details on the 3090 Ti. I'm sorry, we've all been saying it wrong. Jeff, you've had it right the whole time. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're like confused. 3090 Ti, what the heck is that? We got a 3090 Ti, and maybe there's cross-communication issues. Regardless, basically at CES, Nvidia said that they were going to give us more information on the 3090 Ti at the end of the month, and well, we're here and we hear nothing, obviously. So we do know that Nvidia did tell their board partners to stop producing these things, so there might be something going on there. There might be an issue. Personally, I think they're looking at the current situation where Ethereum is down significantly. So this looks pretty good. They're actually up almost 4% today. So it looks like a big recovery. And even if you go on the 5-day, it's like, oh yeah, it's definitely trending upwards. But when you go to the 1 month, it's like, yeah, it's slowly creeping up, but honestly, this is mostly flatline. So yeah, while it's starting to rally, there's just that trepidation there. So are they going to be able to get away with launching a GPU that's 2 or 3% faster and that they want to charge like 25–30% more money for? In this market, it's very, very questionable. So in my opinion, that's the reason why Nvidia is not sending these out at this point in time. They might just scrap this entirely if crypto does fall apart. And ultimately, I think that's really all it is. Nvidia is trying to weigh out and see what their best option is. It'd be very bad optics for them to piss off their most loyal fans that bought 3090s by releasing something that's like 2 to 5% faster and charging infinitely more money for it. There are a lot of people out there that will sell their 3090s and pay whatever the difference is to get the 3090 Ti. They will pay the scalp price. So even if they scalp somebody on their 3090, they're going to get up-scalped again. So it's going to be a significant upcharge. And is it worth the bad PR that they will get from that? And I think that's honestly where they're at. Now, if crypto shoots back up over $3,000, which I think is going to be the hard resistance point for it to crack, just like going under 2,000 has been very hard for them to crack as well, then they can bring this card out and it'll be fine because GPU prices will continue to go up. Now, does that seem likely? Well, there is another story that came up over the weekend, not technically tech-related, but will have an impact on this. All right, so Celso sent this over to me over the weekend. White House wants crypto rules as a matter of national security. So essentially, the United States of America is now debating on whether or not they want to allow crypto. And this is really not good. So if any rules come into place, or laws, which would be even worse than rules, because rules you can skirt around, laws is a little bit harder. But if something comes out and goes, yeah, the United States will never allow any US-based business to ever accept crypto as a matter of law, guess what? Crypto is dead, gone, and will basically be what everybody said that it was going to be, which it'll be used on the dark web and a few people will use it, but the value will absolutely tank. Now, what's interesting is the market just doesn't believe anything's going to happen, I assume, since the price is going up, which is fair. Until it happens, it hasn't happened. But I do find it a little strange that it's rallying. But at the end of the day, if the United States says, no, Bitcoin, no good, Ethereum, no good, you can't use these ever as legal tender here in the United States, it's DOA. There's just no way that it'll work. And if you understand where the countries in the world, the IMF, and all these guys want things to go, they want each country, or globally even, they want digital currencies run by central banks. They do not want this decentralized nonsense because then they lose power and control, which if you had power and control, you wouldn't want to lose it either. I mean, it's just like anything else. Just be selfish and greedy, and that's usually the correct answer, unfortunately. So if this goes through, crypto's dead, and then Nvidia would look really, really bad coming out with that 3090. And I guess, like I said, they're just in a holding pattern right now. Just wait and see. It's not a card that I think too many people are that interested in anyway. If somebody wants a top-tier graphics card, they're going to buy a 3080 Ti or a 3090, depending on their budget anyway. And I believe most of those guys have already got the cards that they want. If you're looking at buying a $2,000 to $3,000 graphics card, you probably just said, screw it, I'll pay the scalper price. Who gives a shit about $500 to an extra $1,000? So I think those guys are already taken care of. So it's just a bad PR move, honestly, and I think that they figured that out. Somebody's like, hey, this is just not going to go over well with people. Maybe we should just not do this. That's my thought. Who knows? Could be something technically related as well. There's a bunch of things that it could be. That's just my thought on the situation. But I want to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below on that one. All right, so I want to go ahead and talk about this microphone right here. To me, this came out really well. This is actually an extremely affordable microphone TONOR sent over. And right now it's on sale on Amazon. So if you want to check it out, like I said, links are down below. So it's very, very inexpensive, and it comes with everything you need. This is the biggest thing that I liked about this. Usually you have to buy shock mounts and all sorts of other stuff to get your setup going the way that you want. So when I took this out of the box, you get the microphone, obviously, but you also get a pop filter, which is really, really cool, which you obviously seen here on camera. But it also has the shock mount that you saw, comes with it, and it has a removable tripod. So if you don't have a microphone arm, you can just sit it on your desk as well. So basically you can use this in any configuration that normal people will be using. So yeah, I really like that. You don't need to buy any extra accessories besides maybe an arm if that's what you want, but obviously they're not going to sell it with an arm. That'd be silly. And then it uses a USB Type-C cable, so it works with just about anything. So yeah, overall, I could say that this is a great deal. Compared to my Elgato, it's holding up very well. You guys are listening to it now. This is post-processed, but this is my normal processing procedure. I'm not doing anything special for this microphone. It's the exact same steps that I've used with my Blue Yeti and my Elgato Wave. So you guys are hearing the quality difference or not. And if you're not hearing much of a difference or any at all, then yeah, this is a significantly cheaper alternative. And like I said, it comes in with everything that you need, which personally I really, really like. So if you're interested, once again, links are down below. You can pick one up. Very, very affordable microphone, especially compared to the Wave 3 or the Blue Yeti that I was mentioning. So, alrighty guys, that's really all I have for you here today. If you guys liked the video, please smash that like button, please subscribe, please share with friends. That really helps out. If you want to have chats about these topics, we're going to be talking about these on the Techonomics podcast, of course. And if you missed the last one, we did have Brian from Tech Yes City on there. Link will be down below, so you can go ahead and check that out. We had a great time. Brian, if you're watching this, I had a blast, man. You're always welcome on. Great topics. We went a little bit out there, I think, but it would all related, and I kind of liked it. We went a little bit deeper, I guess you could say, than we normally would, so I very much enjoyed that conversation. So yeah, that's really all I have for you guys here today, and I will catch you guys in the next video.